Good day, grade 6 learners. Sorry if I cannot meet you in our face to face online class because of some important matters that I need to finish. I hope you will take time to watch this video because this is the only way I could explain the lessons in English. Thank you for your understanding. This time, please get your English 6, Quarter 2, Module 2, entitled Pathway to Propaganda. Open it on page 10. The lesson today is using graphic organizer. Pay attention to the video because after this lesson, you will answer the assessment test. The test is numbered 1 to 10 and the passing score is 8. Are you ready? The lesson objective today is using graphic organizer. Once again, our objective is use graphic organizer. What is graphic organizer? Graphic organizers are visual and graphic displays that organize ideas and demonstrate relationships between different information and concepts. They are designed to improve learning outcomes for learners, review information, and are especially helpful to learners who struggle with arranging information. Here are the examples of graphic organizers that we will discuss today. The first is P-chart, concept map, main idea web, Venn diagram, and the last is sequence chart. Let's start with P-chart. What is P-chart? P-chart helps you organize ideas into two columns and examine two components of an object, concept, or events. P-chart can be used in any content area to examine the pros and cons, or the good and the bad areas of something, advantages and disadvantages, and facts and opinions. P-chart can be utilized to select and compare two things such as ideas, characters, events, etc. Here is an example of a P-chart about facts and opinions. So in this part, the facts are being described in the left column and the opinions are described in the right column. So basically, a P-chart looks like the letter T. That's why it is called P-chart. Another example of P-chart is between the verb and the noun. So in the left part, the verbs, here are the list of verbs. In this right part of the T-chart are the examples of nouns. The last T-chart is getting a cat, the pros and cons of getting a cat. So in the left side, the T-chart lists down the pros, and on the right side, the T-chart lists down the cons of getting a cat. Another graphic organizer is concept map. Concept map shows relationship between the main idea and other information. Concepts or ideas are represented in circles or boxes and are linked to related ideas with arrows. Concept map most Concept maps represent hierarchical structure with specific or sub-ideas presented below. Another feature is the inclusion of cross-links to demonstrate relationships between concepts in different segments of the concept map. So here's an example of a concept map, and it is entitled Wild Animals. Wild animals can be beautiful, scary, fast, bats, tigers. And it branch from there, some arrows are branching out to discuss more about the sub-ideas. Another example of concept map is on climate change, the evidence, the causes, and the solutions of climate change. You can see that there are many arrows branching out from these circles or from these main ideas and sub-ideas. And the last concept map is the perceptions on environmental wastes. Perceptions could be categorized into three: perceptions of the homeowners, fishermen, and the farmers, and their respective perceptions of environmental wastes. The third graphic organizer is main idea web. Main idea web starts with a central idea and branches out into related ideas and details or sub ideas, referred to as a spider or semantic maps. Used primarily for brainstorming and generating ideas for planning or writing purposes. So here's an example of a main idea web. So at the center is the main idea, and it branches out to discuss the details. Another example of main idea web is about birds. What do birds do? They're flying, they have beaks, they eat seeds, they are in a cage, they belong to aviary, and they have wings. And the last main idea web is all about spiders. What are the characteristics of spiders? So we have here the general info, the size, the colors, the body parts, head end, body parts, tail end, and webs. The fourth graphic organizer is Venn diagram. Venn diagram are used to compare and contrast two or more groups of things by visually displaying their similarities and differences. Again, similarities and differences in two or more circles that overlap. Venn diagram are similar. Information between topics is presented where a circle from one category overlaps with a circle from another category. Venn diagram features that do not fit or features that do not fit in both categories are placed where the two circles do not overlap. Serves to increase understanding of the relationship between two or more concepts. So here is an example of Venn diagram. So these are two circles overlapping each other. At the center, where the two circles overlap, we write here the similarities. And in the part where the circles are not overlapping, we put the differences. Here's another example of a Venn diagram about the similarities and the differences of birds and bats. So birds and bats have two legs. They are warm-blooded, they are vertebrates, and they have four limbs modified as wings. However, their differences, birds lay eggs, they have feathers, they have beaks. Whereas bats live young, they have furs, and they have teeth. Another example of Venn diagram is all about mammals and fish, the differences and similarities of mammals and fish. So mammals and fish are vertebrates, or they have backbones, they have skeletons. However, their differences are mammals are warm-blooded, have hair or fur, have live births, breathe with lungs, and most live on land. Whereas fish are cold-blooded, have scaly skin, hatches from eggs, and breathe with gills and live in water. And the last graphic organizer is on sequence chart. Sequence chart presents a series of steps or events in order, used as a organized thoughts as a pre-writing activity. Here is an example of a sequence chart, the 6 steps to smarter studying. So you can see here that there are 6 boxes with arrows describing or showing the sequence on how to become smart in studying. So number 1, you need to pay attention. Number 2, you should have good notes. Number 3, plan ahead and you'll be glad you did. Number 4, break it up. Number 5, lose the confusion. And number 6, sleep tight. Another example of sequence chart is what to do if your clothing catches fire. So here's another example of presenting the sequence chart from top to bottom. Sequence charts are also used in making a story map. So here's an example of a story map. The book title is Mickey the Mouse, and the name of the author is Abby Sashi. So here, number 1 event, Mickey is a naughty little mouse, and the last event is number 9, and very soon it'll be the end of poor Mickey. Now, are you ready to do some more activities? Let's do this. What's more? Match the description of the graphic organizer. Choose the letter of the correct answer. What do you think is the meaning of Venn diagram? That's right. Letter D. Compares and contrasts two or more groups of things by visually displaying their similarities and differences in two or more circles that overlap. How about number 2? What is the meaning of sequence chart? That's correct. Letter E. Presents an order in a series of steps or events. The keyword here is order in a series of steps. Number 3. What is the meaning of main idea web? That's right. Letter C starts with a central idea and branches out into related ideas and details or sub ideas. How about number 4? What is the meaning of concept map? That's right. Letter B represents concepts or ideas in circles or boxes and links the related ideas with arrows. How about number 5? What is the meaning of T chart? That's correct. T chart, letter A, helps you organize ideas into two columns and examines two components of an object, concept, or events. That's letter A. Another activity. Let's answer what I can do. Read the scenarios and then decide what graphic organizer to be used. Are you ready? Number 1. I need to write the similarities and differences of the two fruits, papaya and mango. What graphic organizer will I use? That's right. Venn diagram, because you need to show the similarities and differences of the two fruits. Number 2. What graphic organizer should be used when I need to present the pros and cons of social media? That's correct. T-chart. Number 3, I need to make my family tree. What graphic organizer will I use? That's correct. Sequence chart. Number 4, I need to organize and gather thoughts and ideas before writing my script. What graphic organizer will I use? That's right. Concept map. And the last number, I need to present my topic, showing the central idea and its related ideas in details. What graphic organizer will I use? Main idea web. That's correct. Give yourselves a tap on the shoulder for a job well done. Now here, this time, let's try to find out what have you learned. Fill in the blanks with the correct word. Blank are visual and graphic displays that organize ideas and demonstrate relationships between different information and concepts. They are designed to improve learning outcomes for students who view information and are especially helpful to students who struggle with arranging information. That's correct. Graphic organizers. The second question, what are the 5 graphic organizers you have learned? Very good. Number 1, we have T-chart. Next, concept map. Another, main idea web. The fourth, Venn diagram. And the last, sequence chart. Give yourselves 2 claps for a job well done. And now, for the assessment part, read the questions carefully. Choose the letter of the correct answer. I will send the link of the assessment test in the GC via Google Form. So I want you to read or review your modules, because everything that can everything or all of the answers can be seen in the modules, particularly the lesson two, using graphic organizer. Do your best, grade six learners. And for the last, you need to write your assignment in your English notebook. So what are you going to do? Answer additional activities, read the selection, and use an appropriate graphic organizer from the given details. Draw your answer in the box. So you, again, do this in your English notebook. What is the appropriate graphic organizer to be used in this selection? Again, do your best, grade six learners. So this ends our lesson on graphic organizers. I hope we will have a high score in our test, in our assignment. Goodbye. See you.